Hey,
Hi!
there she is.
Sorry, guys. The lateness is definitely due to me. My bad. My bad.
Despicable. How are
I
you,
know.
Ash?
I'm good. I wore pink. It's not Wednesday, but is that pink? It's a very light pink.
It's a kind of pinky lilac-y color.
Mine
Yeah,
is like in your face. I'm repping Barbie because have you seen that movie?
I actually haven't. You disappointed in
Alex,
me.
get it together. I am. That's crazy. It's so
Anyway,
good.
how are you doing, Ash? And welcome back. We've been kind of not online so much, so I
I
thought let's
know.
get you on live and say hello
Yeah,
to everyone.
here I am. Hi, guys. So good to be back. I was telling Alex that a lot of times it's hard for me to know where listeners are coming from because I do lots of random collabs and stuff. But so many SPTV people joining my Discord. Shout out to Brendan, SP. Shit, he has SP in his name. I can't remember who else is an SP in my Discord, but
We're all
aw-
SPs.
awesome people. Yeah, we're all um SPs by association, right?
True, true.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I think we should do some introductions because I think a lot of people won't know who you are. So for those of you
What?
who haven't met Ash before, Ash runs a podcast called TSFU, which talks about cults and true crime and murderers and all that sort of weird, messed up stuff, which is really great. And we did a segment together called Ash and Alex Do Scientology over the summer, and it was a weekly podcast, and we talked about Scientology's bridge to total freedom, and it was just hilarious because Ash knows nothing about Scientology, and just to see her reactions to everything as we went through what each course is and what Scientology is all about. So if you haven't listened to the podcast, go and check it out. You can listen on tsfethepodcast.com or on my YouTube channel. And we have just shifted to doing a monthly show, which name TBC, I believe.
I threw so many good names at you, and you weren't
I'm
impressed with
not.
any of them. So I
No,
don't.
we'll figure
Actually,
it out.
maybe we should see if any of the viewers have
Yeah.
any
Well,
ideas.
yeah, guys, put in the chat if you come up with some names for our new podcast. We're going to be talking not just about Scientology, but about other cults and, just carrying on what we did with Scientology, but talking about other stuff too. And our first guest is actually, as we're recording the interview tomorrow, so it will go live probably next week or the week after or something. I don't know how long it's going to take us to edit it. But you're looking worried, Ash.
I thought you meant like that was our first guest today, and I was like, get the
No, no, no. Our
fuck
first guest on the new podcast tomorrow
out. Yeah.
is Sarah Edmondson from Nexium.
Yay.
So that's going to be the direction we're going in. And then we've got a couple of other exciting things lined up. So put some ideas in the chat what
I
we should call our
remember
new series.
sorry guys. I remember that somebody said in the chat once, "Oh, you guys shouldn't announce a guest before you've done the interview." And I was like, that made me all nervous, but I was like, "No, no, no, no. She's coming.
She'll be here.
Sarah is coming." And she is.
Well, for today's show, I haven't told you this. I've come up with a little. We should play the intro for this episode, which I've not shown you. So, guys, welcome to our Thursday night Ash and Alex Culty Catchup.
That was great. Oh my gosh. I love how it was in the TSFU writing.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a culty catch up. We're going to be doing some giveaways. And we've also got some other guests joining us. One is in the waiting room already who hasn't ever been on my channel, and you don't know who this person is. So I will bring him in shortly. But before I do, I wanted to share something. I thought let's show some highlights from the Ash Alex Do Scientology podcast. So here are some of my favorite screenshots.
This is, you've been busy in the hour since we planned to do this. This is amazing. Thank you,
These are the sorts of
Alex.
faces Ash pulls when we do a podcast together.
That's my face.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
gosh. Oh my gosh. Dang it. I thought my closet was closed and stuff. Okay, sorry.
it's okay. We can't see
Anyhow.
it. But
Somebody said that they liked my hair and that they had very similar hair. So, fuck yeah. Right on.
nice.
High
Selena's
five,
here. It's been a
mermaid
while
hair
since we saw
life.
you, Ash. People love you on my channel.
You know what? I saw that most of the videos have about 1 to 1.3 thousand views. And I wondered, is it the same like around 1,000 people who really like our segment, who watched everyone? Or,
I don't know.
you know, I always wonder about
Probably.
that.
I'd imagine so.
That's kind of what I thought. Yeah.
But yeah, so guys, put in the chat some ideas for what we should call our new series.
Well, yeah. And so to give you guys some ideas, it's just going to be about, yeah, different cults, coercive groups, high control groups, all those shenanigans. We're going to do a spooky episode next month. Topic TBD, but it's going to rock. And then we're super excited for the holidays because we are presenting. I'll do the first part, you do the second part. How about that?
Okay.
Shit, what was the name? Oh, that's right. Okay. I don't know what that was. A very Ash and Alex Christmas.
The 12 cults of Christmas.
The
It's
12
gonna be good
cults of
fun.
Cultmas.
Of Cultmas, yes. So that's what we've got in store for you in the next couple of months. We are going to be doing some giveaways. So before I bring our guest in, that
Oh,
Ash has no
yeah.
idea who it is,
Should we
I'm going to
tease the
show.
giveaways?
Firstly, I should have prepared this, shouldn't I?
Well, I have some goods
You
right
got some
here.
goods.
Oh,
Go for it.
I've got goods. So, you guys, my partner developed this trivia game, HexaQuest, about 17 years ago, but it is finally on the shelves. It's been a very long process making a trivia game. Actually, takes a lot of work. I have been super involved in the editing of it. So the regular game that comes with 6 categories comes with backpacker, historian, tree hugger, movie buff, wise man, which is all around, and gourmet. I feel like the rest are a little bit self explanatory. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat or go to hexaquest.com. So we're going to be giving away one of these bad boys today. They are actually out of stock on Amazon right now, but going to be back in a couple days. It's just like a lot of storage and shipping stuff to deal with. And then there's an expansion pack that I wrote called Detective. And it is brought to you by TSFU, the podcast. That's so fucked up. So, yeah, and I thought, Alex, I know you're not a true crime guy necessarily, but I thought it might be fun to ask you and or the watchers a couple of questions, the viewers.
Yeah. Well, I was also thinking we could ask the guest some questions.
Yes.
So we'll pull him in 1 second. Before I do, there's one other giveaway we're going to do. Ash and Alex, Ash and me, designed a T-shirt together that says "My brain hurts," and on the back, Ash and Alex did it. They did it. They did it well, which is our theme song from the Ash and Alex Did Scientology podcast. So if you want to go and buy one of these, you can. ApostateAlex.com is the merch shop, but we'll be giving 1 or 2 of those away too. So stay tuned for that.
And I'm probably gonna do an outfit change at some point because mine's in the dryer.
Excellent.
I have one, you guys. And it says my brain hurts because I said that maybe more than once, but definitely once while
Well,
I was pulling those faces that Alex just showed.
this is why I thought it'd be fun to bring in this guest who is a friend of mine who's never appeared on my channel, who knows nothing about Scientology. And that's why I thought it'd be funny, because neither did you, and your reactions are priceless. And I thought it'd be quite funny to ask him some questions and for you two to discuss what it was like hearing about the crazy stories that go on in Scientology. Because when I started my channel, Chris, who's joining us, is one of the first people that sat down and actually watched my interview and didn't even know I was in Scientology, even though he knew me when I was in Scientology. So please welcome Chris.
What's up? Hello, team. What's the latest? What have I missed?
Hi,
Hello,
Chris.
Ash. I'm also wearing pink, though you can't really see
You
it.
guys both have very just lighter, much lighter pinks than me on, but that's cool. What's up, Chris? Hi.
Yeah, not much.
I'm sorry, you guys. This is the fucking epitome of what she just said, but Selena said Ash is so ADHD. I was like, I know. Sorry, you guys. I get excited.
Well,
Quite
no
right.
worries.
I think
But-
we're all a little bit ADHD.
I
if that's a word.
like the colors of your.
Thanks.
have
I
got
mean,
a
like
good colour scheme going on.
super cheap little lights. They do wonders, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, right on.
Well, Chris knew me when I was in Scientology, but didn't know I was in Scientology. And then when I told him I was in Scientology, he was like, "What? You're in Scientology?" And then I told him what Scientology was, and then now we're here. So,
Oh, I have a question. What did
Yeah.
you think? What was your initial reaction when he told you?
There were certain conversations that changed their meaning, and I'm like, oh, that made sense now. I was wondering why you were trying to sell me a Scientology book on that walk home that one time.
I forgot about that until Chris reminded me. Like, do you want to tell that story? Actually, we were at the pub, right? And I was in
work at the pub.
Scientology. You were working
And
at
then
the pub.
like you were floating around, and then we were just wandering back, and you didn't even live. Actually, no, you kind of lived in my general direction. So we were walking home, and I was like, oh, I don't really have that much of direction in life. I don't really know what I'm doing. I was like, I can help with that.
Perfect Scientology recruitment right there. You don't know what you're doing in life? Well,
Here's where
Come
my
under my wing.
knowledge comes in. Did he ask you what is ruining your life? Did he try to make you cry to get you
Maybe
to buy?
I can't remember.
Alex,
At that point, I was
did
probably
you?
too emotionally dead inside to cry
Well,
and walk home. But
yeah,
especially
I
after
didn't-
like a 12-hour shift.
I didn't need to ask because Chris was just opening up to me as friends do, right? We're just talking about what's great and what's not great about life. And because I was in Scientology, I was like, well, Scientology can help you with that, and tried to sell him. But Chris, there's a saying in Scientology that Ash is referring to there, which is crying is buying. So if the person in front of me is crying, then they're buying the book because I found out what's ruining their life, and I can then present Dianetics as a solution to that.
That's hideous.
It's horrible. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a great moneymaker. So maybe we should all get on that. Oh wait, you did. Too late off the boat. I missed the wagon.
No, I think we should all get off of it and
Yeah.
stay off.
That's true. And you
Yeah.
didn't buy the book, Chris, which is probably a good thing.
Probably because I didn't have the money.
That's true.
At that point, you're a very persuasive person, I'm sure. I would have got, and I'm a very curious person as well. So
Imagine if you would have
probably I
had
would've
20 extra
went
bucks
into it.
back then, you could be a Scientologist today.
Oh, missed out.
Yeah, I mean,
Did
Wow.
I?
Exactly. Chris, I'm interested to know, like, whether you saw a difference in me, firstly, between then and not being a Scientologist, because obviously I was very persuasive trying to sell you Scientology, and then came out of Scientology. And then secondly, from the point I started speaking out, because like you've been with me on a lot of this journey of like figuring out what I've been through and all of this. Like, have you noticed a change in me, or have I just been the same throughout? Because I feel like I'm a very different person to who I was.
You come across more honest.
That's because I was a lying piece of shit when I was in Scientology.
But you know what I mean? Like back then, I didn't know to what extent your life was on quite the roller coaster.
Mm.
So you're keeping a lot to your chest. So I know you take on as much as you're willing to ask, and that goes for everyone in your life, and that's for everyone. Um, you're only really going to look into other people's lives if they show any worrying, outwardly worrying things, and you weren't at that point. Um, so there was nothing to see. But then, as he kind of, I don't know the timelines, but there was a certain off the rails section of your life, and then the on the rails, and then off the rails again, and then somewhere in between, and that's kind of where you balanced out a little bit.
Mm.
But then that could have just been life. Life does that
Yeah.
to you. So
I
if
think
you're
I will
not,
never forget the
yeah,
conversation when I showed you the interview I did with Chris Shelton talking about my life and like how Scientology affected me. And like I was explaining how deep it goes in your brain of like literally changing the way you think about things, right? And I'll never forget trying to explain something to you and then suddenly clicking of like, holy shit, that's how much this thing actually affects you, because it's I think you realize then I think you said a lot makes sense about you now, because I understand
mm,
that that's how you were thinking, even if you weren't believing in Scientology or applying it. Like, I think you just realized that that's how my brain was working
mm.
at the time. Does that
Like
make sense?
still now,
Mm.
it's the same way with heroin addicts. They normally find something else to be addicted
Disclaimer:
to.
I'm not a heroin addict.
You're not. You're fine. But
Whoa,
it's
whoa.
just like, okay, should I say addicts in general?
Yeah.
If once they leave a vice, they normally gravitate to another vice, whether it be just as destructive or something healthier. So you as a person, as long as I've known you, you've been a little bit like a dog with a bone. Once you get something, you've got it.
Yeah.
So now you've kind of like swung from a couple of different things, and now you've landed on this, and it's incredible to see that you're kind of using that mentality that came from a place of, let's be honest, it's darkness, and you're using it for quite a big uh, positive movement. So
Mm.
fucking well done, man.
Thank you. Oh, I feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh.
But it's true. It's like it's a journey that you go on, and like I think when you, I think there's guilt as well, right? I was responsible for a lot of people getting into Scientology, so I kind of feel like I should do my part to try and help people get out, right? It's there are people who are still in Scientology now that are there because I sold them a book. So there's an element of like wanting to take ownership and responsibility for the things that I did, but also like just genuinely wanting to help people, right? And
Mm.
getting to know other people that have been through something similar.
You got to be careful with that though, because that X amount of issue that you've put into the world, it's always going to be there.
Mm,
Like, I mean, that might give you good fuel to kind of rectify the world and what you see to be the way forward. But if you let that eat you up inside, that's never going to go away. So
that's
you
true.
got to be careful with that, leveraging that guilt. Do
Yeah,
it in a healthy way,
absolutely.
you know. So.
This got deep quick, didn't it? Ash, do you want to chip in and tell us what your thoughts were when I started unveiling what Scientology actually was and what we believed in and all of that? Because you were mind blown.
Yeah, well, I reached out to you initially and because I'm learning about the Bible on my show on my Patreon. So I think I'm maybe 8 or 9 episodes in, and we just got through Leviticus, the third book, and it is trippy shit, man. So I reached out to Alex and I said, "Do you want to do Dianetics with me? Like, do you want to teach me about Dianetics as like a fun little segment?" Because I thought it was the Scientology Bible.
Is it not? No? Okay, fair enough.
It's the book that started it all. Yeah, but
I mean, so is the Bible, I would
Yeah.
argue.
Yeah.
So,
The book.
you know.
yeah.
So the good book of Scientology. And Alex was like, this sounds really interesting. Do you want to chat? Because that's really not how it works. And then we talked for like half an hour or something the first time we talked, because we both got all excited, and you told me about the bridge to total freedom, and yeah, no, it was fun. But it's definitely a system that is designed to fuck your mind. Are we far enough into the stream that I can say that?
We can swear. That's fine.
But it's like, you know, and I see Matrical. I can never pronounce their name, but hi, you. They're in my Discord, and they said, I showed the picture of me wearing the shirt in the Discord recently, and I said, "Oh, this
Are
is
you
from
talking
our
about
segment."
Maximir Dokugal? I'm trying to
Yes.
find him. He is in the chat earlier,
No,
or
that's
she?
she. She's in the
She.
chat. Yeah, I can never
Oh,
pronounce
yeah.
that.
My chat. Sorry. Completely disregarded you for a sec there.
I'll pull
Hi.
I'll pull stuff up as we go through. Maximir Dokugal. Yeah. Say good.
Yeah, I guess. Do you know that that's a German name or word?
That's German,
Because
yeah.
how do you know that?
Because it's
Just from
German.
being
Maximir is make me. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't know fucking German, dude.
God, Ash, come on.
He's like shaming me for not knowing German. Okay.
The only
Rude.
German word that I know is Schadenfreude, because it's just the perfect feeling of
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Mine is the word for pen. Kugelschreiber. Ich habe eine Kugelschreiber. I have a pen.
Love it.
Do you speak fluent? Wait, hold
Not
on.
fluent, no.
I had a point. They
Sorry.
they said, well, that's because Scientology is designed to scramble your brain. And I think that's why my brain hurt, because you were feeding it painful information that it was trying to digest. And
all the word salad. There's
was-
so many words that mean different things.
yeah, so it was like working on overtime. So I can only imagine actually being in that situation and taking it seriously and thinking, fuck, man, this is some life or death shit.
Mhm.
I mean, Jesus Christ, your brain must really hurt then, because I'm just trying to fucking understand the basics, and then I could not read that material. It was just, I would get way too frustrated. I mean, but I don't know. I think that's probably, you know, what would most stop me from being in Scientology. If I had been in the right place at the right time, if I could afford the book that Alex gave me, you know, and he was my homie and we were walking, and he probably would have got me, asshole. Alex. Ooh, lucky we didn't know each other then.
Lucky as
But
heck.
If you turned up if you upped the gear, you probably could have got me.
Yeah, you should have tried harder to make him cry. But we're glad Chris is here and not in Scientology. But
I'm fairly lucid as a human being now, so well done for not getting me.
You know what? But just because you said that now, like, you're gonna end up in a fucking MLM or something. You know what?
It's so easily done, you know.
Oh, it is. I think the financial situation and the confusingness of the material would be the biggest turnoffs for me.
I'm dyslexic as well, so I'd probably I'm done like the first chapter. So
L. Ron Hubbard is here in the chat. He's come back from Target 2, and he says, Ash, we can help you with your brain problems.
Well,
thanks.
you know what? I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't trust him anymore after hearing what he wrote in OT9.
Yeah, well, Chris, so I don't know if you know this, but you know the whole Xenu story you talked about before, which is the whole aliens and volcanoes and all of this, right?
Phaetons.
So turns out, right, later on, after you find that bit out, um,
There's
L. Ron
fucking
Hubbard,
more.
spoiler alert, guys, L. Ron Hubbard believed he was the Antichrist and he was also Buddha in a past life.
Which is so confusing. But
Pick one, at
and then
least.
he said
Isn't-
Jesus was a pedophile as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
A lot of historical figures were, if from today's modern standards. So
Okay.
maybe
Whoa,
it's
Chris.
true.
Chris
Wow.
is
Wow, he went there. He went
Chris
all
is like
in.
the opposite of me. I like make jokes out of everything. I'm like, right? I heard in therapy that it's because it's how I cope with trauma and dark subjects. Chris, he just leans right in.
Straight in. Goes for it.
Depends what mood you got me in. You got me off guard. I wasn't expecting to be here today.
I did just
You weren't
randomly text
expecting
Chris.
to be
Asked
on a
about 10 minutes
live
ago.
Oh, yeah, I
YouTube
literally
today?
texted Chris, said, "Hey
That's
man, do
crazy.
you want to just jump on a live with me and Ash, like randomly?" He was like, "Okay."
Okay, what are we talking about?
There
I
is
don't
another
know.
person as well
Okay.
that may be joining us in a little bit. I hopefully will hear from him soon. But Ash, do you want to? I'm thinking it'd be quite fun to do some like either cult trivia or something, and we can maybe give a T-shirt away to people watching in the chat.
Yes, I think you guys should have some deep conversation again for a few minutes so I can grab my t-shirt out of the dryer and model it. Right? You guys be all deep and whatnot. I'll be back
No,
with
I hope
funnies in a few.
I hope it's still pink.
It's got pink on the back.
Okay, fair enough.
It's got pink on the
That'll-
back. It's the
that'll-
one that I showed earlier, the one that says "My brain hurts."
Oh, nice. Okay. So
But,
yeah, speaking of the reason this is what I was kind of like ruminating in my brain for potentially why I could be tempted down an avenue that is somewhat untoward is I kind of figured out that I'm an existential nihilist and I swing back from the two fairly frequently. And on the existentialist stuff, you're like, life is great. You can be whatever you want to be. Bleh. And then it swings back and you're like, there's no fucking point. So
this
then
is
it
a
just
huge
goes back
one,
to-
especially in Scientology as well, because like Scientology is so about like it becomes your life. Like this is your purpose. Your purpose in life is to clear the planet and help as many people as you can and get up the bridge and all of this. So when you leave, it's really hard to like find a new purpose in life. That and also like be okay with then not having a purpose. Like I had many conversations with my therapist about this of like, you know, you don't have in Scientology, you have to have a purpose, and your purpose is Scientology. So learning that you don't have to have a purpose in life, you can just like enjoy the little things and just go through your day and have fun, and that's fine, is a big step. But then also, like I remember saying to my therapist, I think I told you this as well, like when you think about life, even if I did something that affected every human being on this planet, that's like but a speck of paint on a huge canvas that is the universe. So what is the point? There isn't a point. And it's not like a depressing thing, but it's like, okay,
quite freeing.
well, once you realize that, like, you know, the whole thing is basically pointless, you can find meaning and purpose in life in the little things of like, you know, spending time with your family, going out and doing things that you enjoy, seeing your friends. Like that is your purpose and your meaning. It doesn't have to be some big existential question of like saving the planet, which it was in Scientology. And that's a huge journey to come on to learn that about yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm saying that like you would know, but you weren't a Scientologist, so. But
well, no, I can appreciate a narrative. You know, I like the next person love a good story, and as
L. Ron Hubbard's getting turned on here. He's picturing you in a Sea Org uniform. The Sea Org is the like the executive branch of Scientology, the ones that dress up like Navy people I've shown you pictures of before. He's imagining you in a fake Navy uniform, basically.
As a sailor. He wants to see me in a sailor suit. Cool. I'll maybe I might do that for your chat.
Hello.
For a stream. Nice. But sorry, what were you saying, Chris, before I interrupted there? Doesn't matter. It's okay. We can come back to it. Welcome back, Ash. You are sporting the merch
I am sporting the merch. Thank you for the kind welcome back. So yeah, let me show everybody what's up.
My brain hurts.
My brain hurts. It's a little fuzzy. Do not adjust your screen because your brain hurts.
We can't hear you, Ash.
Oh, is it actually meant to be fuzzy?
Yeah, it's like a fuzzy
smart.
design.
Can you hear me now?
We can, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like talking to two people from England. So I'm like, can you hear me now? Oh,
Was that your British accent?
Technology.
Yep.
And then
Here's
this
the
is the back, which you can't see.
If you swap
There
over
we
to
go.
your, I think
There
it's
we
right.
go. Ash and Alex did it. They did it well. You can kind of see it. But guys, if you want one of these t-shirts, we will send it to you. If you can answer a question correctly. Ash, do you want to pull up a trivia question from your game?
I do.
I love the fact that you've made a game. This is your
It's
other
so
half's
cool.
made a game, right?
Thank you.
And then you've
Yeah.
made that's very cool. I want to do the same.
So it's way better than other trivia games that you probably know of and played before. That's all
Are
I'll
you referring
say.
to the one where there's some sort of chase involved and there's other trivia related stuff?
And there's wheels of cheese, sort of.
Yeah,
but
that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know why I keep winking.
You may be
Because
having a
it's
stroke.
because I look really good when I do it. Okay. So yeah, you guys, this one, or I'm going to be asking a question from Detective, the expansion pack, brought to you by TSFU. That's So Fucked Up the podcast. Okay, so let's go for a 1 for you guys. Okay.
So is
What-
it multiple choice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How many options are there?
4. So that's
4.
what's really fun about this one compared to some other trivia games that you may have played, is that there's multiple options instead of you just having to guess.
Okay. So
I'll know the
you're
answer.
gonna
No,
so
I
you're
guess,
gonna
yeah.
you're gonna read out the question
Mhm.
and then the answers A, B, C, or D, and in the chat just type the letter of the answer that you think it is, and I will randomly select someone who's chosen the right answer, and you will win a
So-
T-shirt.
Should I send you the answer in chat
No,
right
no.
now, Alex?
Yes, that's a good idea. Because then I know which one to select.
I'm like, okay, well, you might not for sure know. So
Ruzini Project, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Hi, Alex, Ash, and Chris. Sorry I'm late. You are
Alright.
forgiven."
Yeah, at least you joined the
don't
party.
worry. Thank
And
you for
Joe-
being here.
Joe DeSeppo is already jumping in with some random guesses.
Yes. Is that the alpha? Can you guys sing the alphabet backwards? Because I
No.
think it's crazy
No.
that they try to ask drunk people to do that, because I could not do that sober.
I can't do it.
No.
Okay, all right, let's do this. Let's do the
Okay,
question.
ready, set, go. Okay, here we go, guys. BTK stands for bind, torture. Alex's face. My God. Blank.
Kill
Is it A,
Sorry.
kick? You want me to read it again?
Yeah, no, go.
What?
No, sorry. I said the answer to it. I just forgot how this works.
Shh. Did you say the answer?
No.
I
Okay.
didn't hear it.
Okay. BTK stands for bind, torture, blank. Is it A, kick, B, kill, C, knife, or D, knockout?
Oh, so get your answers in. A, B, C, or D.
A, B, C, D. Is it A, kick, B, kill, C, knife, D, knockout? This is
Alrighty.
what does BTK stand for?
So you guys got a few seconds, and I'll pick someone. 5, 4, 3, 2, and
Bind.
1.
Torture.
Peggy P said B, which is kill. Right?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. So well done, Peggy P. You've won a T-shirt. If
I think I
you
got that wrong.
eat,
Sorry,
did
go.
you get it wrong, Chris?
I said killer. But
Wait, that's not Peggy? That's not my No, my Peggy spells an IE. You know my Peggy. Peggy comes
Peggy.
around here.
Alrighty.
But
Well, Peggy
yay,
P,
Peggy! Peggy
if you
P!
email me hello@apostatealex.com, I will send you a redemption link and you can go and get your t-shirt. Congrats.
Yay!
Amazing.
And we will do a couple more little pop quizzes throughout the show, so we can also give away a detective, one of the game from which I just read a question, and a HexaQuest base game, which is valued at $45. Sorry, guys, America only for the.
I was gonna say, I was actually gonna be a question.
United States. I should be clear.
No. If
United
it's someone,
States only.
if it's someone in the UK or Europe, I'll pay for the shipping for it if they win it.
Oh, that's nice.
We'll cover that.
I can't. It's really expensive, but
It's fine.
I got the game. That's all me.
We're good. There are some great comments in the chat that I want to pull up. So Selena said for the Christmas edition, we should call it "Baby It's Cold Outside."
That's great.
Oh,
And you have to
that's
sing it.
good. But we do have we got a good theme song in mind, but I do really like it. You know what? We can have a different outro. I love a jingle, and we got a guy, and he has a gal who he works with, so we
can do it.
Great idea.
Let's make it happen.
It's a duet song as well, so it works perfectly.
Mila Kunis, aka CO Bilf, asks for you, Chris. Was Alex as hot back then as he is now, or did he look tired and such?
You know what? I don't
So
think you've
hot.
ever looked as good as you do now.
Oh,
that's
thank
nice.
you. Thanks, babes.
I didn't know
Also,
you,
when you were
so
a kid,
I can't vote.
It's kind of hard to say if a kid looks good.
That's true.
Even
I was
in
a
retrospect,
teenager.
you're like, I don't think I can say yes or no to
No, I don't think you. I think you want to be really careful about saying that
Yeah.
kids look good. Let's.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But he was also a kid, so it's okay. We were both kids.
I'm just.
Yeah, but in
Yeah.
retrospect, I remember you back then when you were hot. When you were 11. Like, what the fuck did you just say?
So, Chris, let's talk about true
Sex,
crime,
baby.
cults, sex if you want to. Ash loves a good conspiracy theory. She loves cults. She loves true crime. Throw us some questions. What's the craziest conspiracy theory or true crime or something that you enjoy learning about?
Do you know the conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is not Avril Lavigne?
Oh
yeah,
my god,
she's
no.
John Benet Ramsey.
What?
I fucking love that one. It's just so fucking bizarre.
It's so funny. Like Alex is like, "What?" And I'm like, "Duh, I heard it."
What is it that? What, she died and got replaced, like the whole Paul McCartney thing?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing, just for a different generation.
Gee, Ash, you don't know about the Paul McCartney thing. There's a conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney and the Beatles died and was replaced after they did like a lookalike competition, and the current Paul McCartney is actually not the real Paul McCartney.
Is he living on an island with Tupac and Aaliyah and that whole crew? That's
apparently
like still alive?
Apparently he actually died. And then the album cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Club Hearts Band, or whatever it's called, there's a guy who's got like a hand above Paul McCartney's head like this, and in some like ancient tradition or something, that's a symbol of death or afterlife or something, and they took that to mean he's died. And apparently he died in a car crash, and they held a lookalike competition in Canada, and they found some guy that looks like him, and he is now who actual Paul McCartney is now. Yeah.
Where's the proof of this?
Well,
why would you need any proof? Just say things. And
wait, I have something. I have something that I don't really think is a conspiracy, but I think that that's a cult.
What's a cult? Ash.
Yeah. What?
What are you saying?
What we just said was a cult, or
no? Fuck! God damn it! I lost my train of thought.
Conspiracy theories.
the one word that we're lacking in context is in your head
Avril
somewhere.
Lavigne
Oh, okay.
Avril Lavigne, Paul
Conspiracy
McCartney, people
theories.
dying, being.
Beatles and my theory about cults and the Beatles. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes
Go
I
on.
need to get
We're
walked
with
through.
you.
Okay.
Go for it.
I think that the Beatles are primarily responsible for starting the Eastern philosophy kind of yogic Indian guru cult movement.
Well, they were linked, weren't they? I was watching something the other day about how they went to like some monastery or something, and they were linked to this cult leader guy that was a fraud
Oh, I
Buddhist
actually
monk or
don't even
something.
know who they went and hung out with. I just know that they went over to India. They got all fucking spiritual, as people do in India. And they came back and all this. Where'd Alex go?
Don't know.
I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
I was like, hello? And then they came. Oh, somebody said George Harrison was a Hare Krishna. Oh, Mahesh Yogi. Okay, thanks, guys. So when they came back to, I think England and the Western world, they're like going to India and getting your fucking.
The Beatles are not a cult, Ash. They met up with the devil at a crossroads and sold their soul to be able to completely inspire and change how music was performed.
Maybe
Cool.
that too. But I'm just saying, I think like the whole fucking, Wild Wild West, Osho, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, do you guys know what cult I'm talking about? Right? Yeah. And
I'm not really
Buddha Field,
with
all
inside
those.
Well,
I
Phil
think
Chris
that
in.
shit came, I think the Beatles started it. That's what I'm saying.
Fill Chris in on this whole Bogarash niche thing. It's like this guy who said he trained under this spiritual leader person, and then he started like a cult movement in America that a load of celebrities joined. It's all about yoga and meditation and stuff. And it turns out he was a fraud, right? And he didn't actually do any of that training. And wasn't he accused of, of
Well,
some horrible
really
stuff?
wildly, he sexually assaulted a bunch of people. Or I mean,
it's like a running
He
theme,
coerced-
isn't it? with cults?
Yeah. It's
Well,
a
it's
lot
a
of
power
it's
thing, isn't
it's
it?
a lot of have sex with the leader. It's like a transmission of power. Oh, I'm giving you this great gift. So I guess he was coercing a lot of women into having sex with him in that way. But they had such a Miss J. Osho is how he rebranded himself, and people still quote that motherfucker all the time as if he's not a super dangerous cult leader. But he's dead now. So
How'd he die?
he he just like passed away naturally or something at his ashram in India, because basically him and his
Sounds a little
fucking
bit
crew,
suspicious.
they literally tried to poison a whole town in Oregon.
What?
You guys need to watch Wild Wild Country. What are you doing with your
Wow.
lives?
So, yeah.
See, and Alex, this is why we're having a segment, because you guys, Alex knows all about Scientology, but I know all about so many other cults.
I
And
do know
groups.
about a psychic that that died once in a horrible accident. She didn't see it coming.
I love a good.
That was terrible.
I love a good dad joke, but I can't say that was one.
Right, Chris, give
Right.
us your favorite conspiracy theory.
I like the idea that people still believe in chemtrails.
Chemtrails is a good
how-
one.
Am I speaking to someone that's like, I can see him. They're fucking there.
I can
Do
see
you
it.
believe in
That's
it?
all I'm
Yeah.
saying, is I can
Okay.
see it.
So-
So my thing is usually I just think that there's a lot more going on.
Probably.
Okay, listen. So if you look up conspiracy theorist in the dictionary, it says somebody who distrusts the government. I'm sorry, I don't think that makes me fucking crazy. I think
No.
that means
It's only a conspiracy theory up until the point where you can prove it, right? So
I think also there's like elements of truth in everything, right? Like the chemtrails thing, right? It is true that the governments are around the world, particularly the US, are experimenting with weather and how to affect weather and stuff. Like it's part of a scientific thing to try and understand it, but like that's true. But where the conspiracy theory takes it further is how they're using it to control people, society, and cause mass devastation events and stuff. Like that's where it starts to get conspiracy theory wise. It's like taking the grain of truth. Yes, they're trying to understand the weather and they're figuring out ways to manipulate the weather. But whether they're using it on the scale and for the nefarious means that the conspiracy theory says is where it is questionable, right?
You know what I also think is a pretty good rule of thumb? Whoever smelt it dealt it. Okay, hear me out. If these guys are over here going, hey, you guys, those people, they are fucking pedophiles and they are, they're corrupt and they're doing this and that. You know what? When you got one finger pointing away from you, you have three pointing back at you. So
true. Chris, what were you going to say?
I think that's like a really good deception tactic that cults use a lot. They're like, oh, look at them over there abusing children. Not in our church. Yeah. We don't do that. We're against that. And it's like,
well, like Scientology, we promote human rights, and yet at the same time they restrict and take people's human rights away.
And then they point at SPs and they're like, look at this guy over here. He's being so bad. What'd they say about Aaron Smith Levine? That he was a homosexual or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's, and it's like, you know what? Like a lot of times people who are super homophobic have some closeted tendencies. That's all I'm saying, just like, consider it a little bit.
True. Chris, what you're going to say something a second ago.
So connected to kind of looking more into maybe not disproving the sort of way of thinking for conspiracy theories, but there is, I can't remember who said it, but they were suggesting that you can a general rule of thumb for the validity of conspiracy theories can normally be looked into with money. If it affects rich people negatively, it most likely is not true. So if you're going to seed whether that's bad for
me and Alex just looked up in the opposite directions.
Well, I was thinking it's like Scientology is like a very rich person's cult because you have to have a lot of money. It takes a lot, and it doesn't help them positively. But at the same time, there's not mega rich people in Scientology. Like you don't see, Bill Gates and Elon Musk and these multi-millionaires being Scientology. You have people who have a lot of wealth but are not like super rich. So I guess there's an element of truth there.
Wait, what were you saying though that I was trying to figure out in my head? Because I'm very interested. You think if rich, what?
If the negative impact of said conspiracy theory is too negative for any rich person, it most likely it's less likely that it's going to be true, or otherwise they would have thrown money at it, right?
No,
that's the general idea.
Well, I disagree. That's why I think it probably is true, because they can. Wait, hold on. Wait, what are you saying?
Rich people need the lower echelons of life to go and do the grunt work for them to make more money off them. Why would you kill your own population?
So you don't think that elite pedophile rings exist? You think like Jeffrey Epstein was a one-off?
Well, maybe...
Now we're going crazy. I don't usually talk about this stuff publicly because people's like, oh, Ashley, conspiracies. Okay. And I'm like, wake up, sheeple.
Well, it might be true, but... you might want to lean into the conspiracy theory as a super rich person who's inside the ring and say, look how fucking crazy this thing is. As you're kind of part of it, you're kind of discrediting it by making more people kind of be loud about it, if you know what I mean.
Well, makes any sense. That's what I'm saying. Who smelt it, dealt it. If you're like the rich senator or lobbyist or rapper or Hollywood actor, whatever. If you're somebody with just a fuck ton of money, and sorry, I'm thinking about Travis Scott right now because at Astro World, several people died. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a conspiracy that it was like a devil worshiping kind of like ritual. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I'm not buying it, but I'm not like really buying it, you know? But I just think that that's why you hear people on the news, on Fox and shit, saying like, oh, look at these Democrats and these elite people in Hollywood. They're all drinking adrenochrome and da. What they do is they make the story so big that it's unbelievable, so that you don't think about the littler things like the sex trafficking of children that have been put into foster homes and what's it called, orphanages or a foster whatever, who are in the system. Basically, nobody notices if they go missing, but and then they make it so big and unbelievable, and oh, they're eating fucking babies. It's them.
That one guy.
And it's like,
True.
okay, no, they're not. Maybe, but it's just classic misdirection. It's like a smaller version of that is going on that's just way fucking less crazy. And it's most likely what the people are saying, look at those people over there doing that. You guys, what's going on in the chat? Is anybody with me, or am I fucking crazy? What do you guys think?
There are some great ones in there. This is my favorite conspiracy theory from T Weeks. The Denver airport is built on underground tunnels for government use. Guys, if you don't know this conspiracy theory, this is a good one.
It's a famous one. Yeah.
Chris, do you know about this one?
No idea.
Apparently,
Lizard
Denver
people.
Airport is it's all linked to the lizard people and the Masons, and apparently there's like this huge underground base with like aliens and like, you know, this government headquarters underneath Denver Airport.
Why Denver?
No, I don't know. See, that one,
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
I don't know.
Ash,
There's
why
no,
Denver?
there's no
Why
reason.
Denver?
Around there.
There's
Why
no
not?
reason
Like,
for
that's-
me to buy this one.
Maybe it's because you are from Denver and you are part of the.
I will only
thing.
conspiracy shop if there's reason. But here, oh, there's lizard people under Denver Airport. Just like, why? No.
Because
Also,
the Earth is flat. That's
I
why.
once interviewed
The lizard
a
people
woman
one is
who's
just also an
an
interesting one.
expert on
I just need
aliens.
to I just need to switch my microphone out. I'm going to go and come back in like 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, I'll keep telling Chris my story about
Yeah.
aliens. So I was talking to this woman about aliens, and I very much so respect her opinion because she's an author, and her uncle and aunt went through. I'm going to keep it a little bit. If you know, you know. Her uncle and aunt went through like the OG alien abduction in the United States.
Roswell.
Abduction of Barney and Betty Hill. And she's a lovely woman, their niece, who I interviewed. And she said all this stuff about aliens, and I was like, yeah, no, I feel you. But then she started talking about reptilians who live in other dimensions and stuff. And I just, for some reason, I couldn't get on board with that. That was a step too far. And I hate when that happens because then I feel like it loses the credibility in the parts that I think seem really real.
The great thing is, if it is like it just comes out, you know, oh yeah, all of that, 100% true. So, and then it's like a portal into another dimension. All these lizard people comes out, and you're like, well, fuck, I didn't see that one coming.
Well, I've always said, right, if L. Ron Hubbard actually comes back, or if Xenu comes back, I'm rejoining Scientology. And this whole UAP thing that's happening at the moment with all these UFOs and the videos and the government admitting that aliens are real. Honestly, I'm like, look,
what the hell do we think about that?
Maybe they were right. What do we think about the UFO thing? I think
that they're real.
I think 95% of the videos that they've brought out are debunkable, but there's always that sliver of like.
Have you seen the MH370 one, the airplane one?
No.
Right.
Have
Do
you
you remember?
guys not heard that all of the governments basically have collectively come out and said aliens are real?
Yeah, and it's all thanks to
think they
Tom
did.
DeLonge from Blink-182.
Cool. He was always the hot one. Mark was overrated.
Why was it him who did this?
So Tom DeLonge left Blink, right, and started this whole Aliens of Real project thing, and started this thing. This is a very nutshell, quick explanation. Started a thing called To the
Okay.
Stars Academy, and what he did is basically partnered with a load of really senior government officials, and basically came in and said, "Look, guys, we all know aliens are real," and he got some top secret super US security clearance thing, and basically went in and pitched to the government. He said, "Look, it's only a matter of time before everyone knows aliens are real, and we don't know what they're doing, and there's so many questions, and if you don't control that information in the right way, there'll be mass hysteria because people around the world are going to be like, oh my god, what do we do?" And there's going to be chaos. So it's all about how to tell the public and get them to be okay with the fact that there are other beings, and they may be visiting the planet, they may have been here all along, we don't know what they're doing or how they work, but we haven't seen anything hostile yet. And Tom DeLonge basically was working with the government to figure out a PR strategy and a plan to reveal this information and get the government to be okay with accepting that this stuff has happened. So he got this top secret security clearance and stuff and did this big investigation. And the whole Congress hearing that happened recently where they admitted aliens are real is because of Tom DeLonge saying we should do this and calling for it. One of the guys that spoke at the congressional hearing is working for Tom in his To the Stars Academy thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
watched
this whole thing's been a big movement, and it's been pushed by him massively.
Did you know, though, that Tom DeLonge has been talking about this for the past 24 years, secretly in songs?
Yeah. Well, he wrote.
Hey,
Where are
Mom,
you?
there's something in the back room.
Yeah. You know that was a cover though.
Hope it's not a creature.
Creature
Really?
from above.
Oh,
yeah.
it is?
It is,
boo.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
So
Like,
when he says,
There goes
like,
my
you know,
fucking joke.
so when he sings like, you know, I fucked your mom, that's about the aliens, right?
Oh, what is it? I don't know.
Is it? I don't know.
remember.
Yeah, maybe.
What
Oh,
happened?
no.
Should we do another giveaway? You
Um,
guys, say in the
Freeze New
chat.
Project.
Yes,
I think
Ash.
you need to read this out, Ash.
Yes, Ash, the hot one is credible. You rock. Thanks.
There we go.
Freezino Project, you rock. You know what? I went to Burger King yesterday, and she was like, "Thanks for coming to Burger King. You rule." And I don't think they've said that before. And I asked her, I was like, "Did you just tell me that, or is that your slogan?" And she was like, "Oh, it's our slogan." And I said, "Well,
Fuck.
I've
I've never
literally-
heard that.
Literally, it must be new." But she was like, "But you do rule." And I said, "So do you."
Aw,
Oh,
how wholesome.
I'm pretty sure that was the first time she heard that week. It's like,
Well,
"Thank
people
you."
are dicks.
Yeah,
Okay,
people are
you
dicks.
guys.
I remember when talking about
Yeah.
Burger King, Wendy's story. I remember I went to Wendy's in America and I was really hungover and like a shell of a human being. And I like crawled in and they were like, "Good afternoon, sir. How can I help you?" And I was like, "Ugh, I just need like food." And she was like, just really confused as to what the hell is going on here anyway. And then I ordered something in a very British accent, and she was like, she was so confused, like, what is going on here?
You
And then I
sound
just-
like you're
I was
from London.
I
You
was
sound like you're from London.
and I was like,
Oh,
"Don't
that
talk to
guy
me. I just
sucks.
need-
God damn
give me
it.
the food." Yes. We just got another super chat. Free Senior Project. Thank you so much. Free Senior Project says, "My favorite conspiracy theory is that the Loch Ness monster is one of the evil spirit Aleister Crowley never banished when he left in the middle of trying to perform the Abramelin ritual."
I've
There's a
never
lot of
heard
words
that
there.
one, but that's
That
amazing.
is a lot to unpack.
Well,
Well,
Aleister Crowley, you know, he was he called himself the Beast.
have I told you about the links between L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology and Aleister Crowley?
No.
Oh, Ash.
I have a friend who follows Aleister Crowley though, and she's the nicest person ever. Like the nicest.
Well, in a nutshell, we should do a whole
Hello.
episode on this. But L. Ron Hubbard, right, trained and was like totally into the whole Aleister Crowley thing. And there's a guy called Jack Parsons who he stole some money off and he was like really close with. And there's a whole theory that all of Scientology is all linked to Aleister Crowley, because the whole idea of him being the Antichrist and all of this is linked to the Crowley theory, and L. Ron Hubbard symbols like the Scientology 2 triangles with an S in it. That's like a snake, and that links to Crowley. And the cross with 8 points is actually like a link to the Rosicrucians. And honestly, it's a whole story. L. Ron Hubbard was totally 100% following Aleister Crowley's teachings.
Well, look, I'm
Honestly,
just
this
saying that
murder
not
board,
everybody
to be
who
honest,
follows
sounds like-
Aleister Crowley is bad. Shout out, friend, if you're watching. You know who you are.
Let's do a
It's
trivia
like
question.
Yeah, wait.
Go on, Chris.
So,
Chris, what are you saying? Sorry, go on.
Ah!
What did you
I don't
say?
know.
I don't know. I thought you were saying something. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Oh, well.
you
Ashley.
guys are funny. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys, say in the chat what you think should be the prize for this round. And Ash, are we doing another shirt or just the one?
We've done the shirt. Let's
Okay,
do.
so we're doing either detective or the Hexaquest, the full game.
What's the detective? Detective's an expansion pack, no?
Yeah, it's the expansion pack that I'm
Why would we give
quizzing
away the
from.
expansion pack if someone doesn't have the game?
Because you can play the expansion packs standalone. What?
Oh shit!
Fucking A,
Way
my
to bury
friend.
the lead.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
That's a good game right there.
I'm really
Yeah.
bad at explaining this game in a way that makes it sound as cool as it is.
I am awful at explaining.
So-
board
Denver
you-
Stevo says $10,000 should be the prize.
Denver, Steve-O, if you give me 11 grand, I'll give 10 of it away. I'd be so happy with the one. Like, that's all I'd want.
Same here, to be honest.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
So, okay, we are getting Either
Hexaquest,
and
Either.
Hexaquest. Alex and a Speedo.
You're seeing
think
comments
I've-
about
I think
5
I've seen
seconds
that.
before I am. That's
Oh,
so
am
funny.
I?
Yeah, Alex and
Maybe I'm
Speedo.
just more on top of it.
There we go. All
Okay.
right.
So, okay. Here comes the next
Let's-
question.
Why don't we give away the expansion pack, and then the big finale at the end of the stream will be the full game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
how you do it. That's,
Okay.
So you guys have to wait until the end because the expansion pack can be played alone, and it is a value of $16, and the game is a value of 45. So I mean, it's just
For residents in the UK, how much would this be? Just out of interest.
$16. That's about 20 quid,
And
22
then
quid.
and then the
$46.
shipping costs.
What was it?
So-
I once bought a
$46? Did
T-shirt
you say
from
the main one?
Corridor Crew, and it went up in like maybe 5 times the price. I was like,
yeah. That's what makes me sad. It's we can't usually. Or I can't usually give away prizes because I have before and just like, I mean, to international people because like I have and woof. Goes,
Mila
goes
Kunis,
quick.
aka CO Bill, can my prize be Alex has to ride a tandem bicycle with me? I will do that if you win, Mila.
that would be fun.
Yes.
Mila Kunis
If you pay for flights and
sucks-
accommodation.
Sucks. Not you. Not this one.
And yes,
AKA.
quid is pounds. Yes. Right, let's do this. Do the trivia question. We're going to give away an expansion pack.
Okay, true crime lovers. Let's do this one. Who did some of That's not it. Okay. Who did Son of Sam claim gave him the orders to kill? Was it A, his neighbor's dog, B, God, C, Satan, or D, Superman?
Ooh.
So,
Great
Son of
question.
Sam, he was
You
a
need to
serial
also
killer.
private message me the answer so I know who to select.
Oh, okay.
But great question. Put your answers
So
in the
one
chat.
more time.
Yeah.
Who did Son of Sam claim gave him the orders to kill?
Oh.
A, his neighbor's dog. B, God. C, Satan. D, Superman.
Alrighty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. K Fred!
K-Fred!
Congratulations!
Congrats, K-Fred! K-Fred, are you in
Well
the U.S., Okay, Fred?
You have one. If you're not in the US and you're in the UK or Europe, I'll pay for postage. But please email hello@apostatealex.com and let me know that you've won, and I will sort that out for you. Congratulations.
Yay!
So
Woo!
that
Congrats,
was
K Fred.
that was his neighbor's dog.
Yeah, he said that his neighbor's dog is who gave him the orders to kill a bunch of people,
You ever
as
seen the
one's
film?
dog does.
You ever seen the film Voices with Ryan Reynolds in it?
No.
So he's
Yes,
basically
yes, I have.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the talking cat and dog, but it's good. That's all I'm gonna say. If it's worth a watch if you like that sort of stuff. So,
It's kind of
I'll
like
have to give that a watch.
like a dark comedy.
yeah, it's so
Did you
grim.
hear
It
about
gets so grim.
Aaron
Oh,
Smith Levin's dog? So Aaron Smith Levin, who's another YouTuber growing up in Scientology, he's told this story before, that basically when he was declared a suppressive person, his neighbor was also a Scientologist, and she obviously had to disconnect from Aaron. You can't talk to enemies of the church. But the dog basically used to go between the houses and like come in and see the neighbor, and the neighbor would feed it and that sort of thing. And apparently when the Aaron was declared, she was like asked the ethics people at the church, like, what about the dog? Can I still feed the dog and look after the dog? And they were like, no, the dog is suppressive too. And so the dog got declared a suppressive puppy, and they've had to put up like a fence and stuff, and the neighbor was really upset about the dog.
did it really get declared a suppressive puppy?
Suppressive dog, yeah.
A,
I mean,
a
at that
suppressive
point,
puppy or
wouldn't
a
you
suppressive
question?
dog?
Well, I
wouldn't you
say
question
suppressive puppy
it
because
on
it's SP, right? But
No, I know. So I
Got
wanted
what,
to know
Chris?
if it was true.
Chris,
At that, okay. I mean, you're gonna be at that point. You're gonna be deep down the rabbit hole, so it's gonna be hard to see out. But isn't that like a bell of some sort? If your religion said a dog is now against you and your and our whole religion, you're like,
You
yeah,
know what? I don't know. I'm just thinking about how many probably like really intense churches um would who definitely believe in, Satan and evil spirits and stuff, or like a really intense cult leader. I could see somebody being like, yeah, the devil is in that dog. It needs to die. I could definitely see that happening.
that one's
Not
the
that
devil.
it makes sense. I just could
Yeah.
see it,
All right.
Well, look, we have
Yeah.
hit an hour and almost 10 minutes, so we should start to wrap up. So we'll do a little bit of a wrap up, and then we'll do the final giveaway before we go. Ash, do we want to talk a little bit about what's coming up with the podcast and Christmas and so on? We mentioned at the beginning, some people may have missed it. So firstly, we're interviewing tomorrow Sarah Edmondson from Nexium, which is going to be so interesting, and that will be coming out a week or two after once it's been edited and everything. And then Ash, tell us about the Christmas special.
Well, I feel like, so I'll tell that a little bit about that again, and then I'll tell you guys. I just put a link in the chat. It's to my website, tsfthepodcast.com, and if you go to that page from the Cultiverse, you can find all of the episodes that I have done on cults. Cults. Somebody said I said it like baby horse, like cults. And so there are 17, 50, 67. Yeah,
A
so
lot.
almost 70 episodes about cults and coercive groups, and you can find those all if you don't want to hear about shark attacks and murder and other weird stuff, which it's pretty cool, you guys. I mean, just I'm saying. But if cults are your jam, then go there to find all of my culty content. And yeah, so Alex and I are gonna do on the first. Okay, so Alex will talk BTS about
Sure.
the details, but we're gonna do the 12 cults of Cultmas. So I think we'll do like on the first week of Cultmas, Ash and Alex gave to me.
Scientology.
Oh, god damn, that does go really well.
Or a charismatic leader.
Yeah, so we don't have it totally planned out, you guys,
We'll
but it's
figure it
going to
out.
be
We've
the
got a few months.
12 something, whatever. It's going to be
The
cool.
12 Cults of Cultmas. I love it.
Yeah, and then I am, if you guys have watched Shiny Happy People on Amazon Prime, well, actually, if you have not watched it, you absolutely should. Also, there's a documentary called Jesus Camp that's really good. So basically, lately, over the past few months, been getting really into Christian fundamentalism and Christian nationalism and evangelicalism and the differences between all of them, and it's really wild stuff. And so it all kind of started from me watching this documentary, Jesus Camp, that was about a bunch of kids who were homeschooled and then went to this camp, and they're all crying because they're sinners, and they're like, your fucking friends aren't here tonight because they got aborted in the womb, and you guys need to go into politics and change that. And I watched this in 2006 when it came out, and then I watched it again recently, and I felt like my fucking head was spinning because I was like, did I just go back to the goddamn future? Because here they are in 2006 saying, go make this change. And here I am, 29. No, that's math. 17. Numbers are not my thing, you guys.
Many moons later.
17 years later, here a bunch of us ladies are in the United States without reproductive rights. So I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw the Shiny Happy People, about 17 kids and counting, and the Duggars, and the like TLC is a fucking fundamentalist propaganda machine, you guys. And it goes so deep.
It's a good series. I would recommend watching it for sure.
And so
what is this called?
It's called Shiny Happy People, and I have a segment starting in just a couple weeks on TSFU. That's So Fucked Up, the podcast. And you guys, it's called The New F Word.
I love it.
And it's starting with an interview from Lindsay Williams from Shiny Happy People, who got out of the IBLP run by Bill Gothard, which is like this fucking like crazy Christian fundamentalist ministry. So, and then another episode with the founder and CEO of Tears of Eden, which is an organization for people who have been victims of spiritual abuse. So kicking off this series with some really great experts, because I didn't want to go into the topic not knowing what I'm talking about, because I don't have any religious background. I don't have any Scientology background. You know, I'm just here with curiosity and compassion.
No.
So you're going in for the light stuff then, yeah?
I love it.
Yeah.
And
well, the funny thing is I do somehow, like most of the time. Sometimes it's not able to keep light. Sometimes it's just like,
you have to go a bit dark.
yeah, that was just a bummer.
We've got to find the humor where we can. And if you do need a bit of a break from all this dark cult stuff, Chris, who is our guest here, is a streamer on Twitch, right? Is that where you want me to send people? Twitch? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Chris streams on Twitch some really fun game playing activities, and I'm usually there in the chat, and we always have quite a lot of fun. So go and support Chris and his channel on Twitch. I just put a link in the comments. Do you want to talk about your channel a bit, Chris?
Yeah, I'm not as frequent as I should be, and I do want to get back into it. It is one of the funnest places to be, and it's always surprising how lovely everyone is. Similar to this, you know, it just generally is a positive experience. We get up to a bunch of different random stuff. I'm currently looking into making games, so that's why I'm like loving the board game so much.
Nice. You and Ash should totally like hook up and do a game together. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we can do board games on Twitch.
No, but I want to make one. But there's a thing called Twine where you can make sprawling narratives, and then you can move that over to other game engines.
Wicked.
So I want to make a game, make the music for it, but I don't know how to do it. So I'll probably do it live.
Let's try and
to do it.
figure that out. And if anyone in the chat wants to help Chris make a game, send me an email and we can make it happen. And
Cool.
before we sign off, we do need to give out one more prize, which is the full HexaQuest game. Ash, do you want to give us our last trivia question? And don't forget to send me the answer in the private chat so that I can choose the winner.
Right.
So for the last time before we sign off, guys, Ash is going to read a question. And if you put in the chat A, B, C, or D, which answer you think it is, we'll send you the game. Ooh la la.
Okay. We might want to make this a US only one, Alex. Shipping is it's a little bit of a heavy game. I'm just saying.
Let's just do US then.
It's probably best for the US. Okay. So
plus 100.
wait, I found the one I liked.
I feel like we could chip in.
What?
We can look US, UK, or Europe. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. Chris and Alex have it handled. Okay. Where was Richard Ramirez's favorite vacation spot? A, Miami, B, Cabo San Lucas, C, Mars, or D, Uranus?
Is that a serial killer?
Yeah, the Night Stalker. Okay. So where was Richard Ramirez's favorite vacation spot? A, Miami, B, Cabo San Lucas, C, Mars, or D, Uranus?
What a great question.
Yeah,
guys,
good.
Get your answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hats off to you.
Good job.
You won.
Kind of had to be.
That's
the answer was Uranus.
He legitimately said that in an interview. So I double checked the other day because when I saw the question, I was like, did I make that up thinking I was being funny or something? And then I verified it.
Wow.
So.
You're definitely being funny, but you were also being accurate. So well done.
Accurate. That's true.
So,
well, hats off to you. If you want to email me, hello@apostatealex.com, and we will figure out getting the game to you. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been great fun.
It has been fun. You guys, watch out for me and Alex's interview with Sarah soon, and then for our spooky Halloween episode, and then for our 12 cults of Coltsmas, Ash and Alex do Christmas.
Do Christmas cults.
A very Ash and Alex Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And please, I'll put it in the chat one more time. If you would like to check out my cult episodes, there's a bunch of them, and I tackle them with a little bit of lightness because I've gone through some of my own traumas in life, and how I've coped with that is about laughing at it and really other dark things. So come laugh with me.
Come and do it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining, and we will see you very soon. Here is our outro for tonight.